Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Jennifer Courtin Devereaux will have a meltdown over Chad DiMera and Kat Green's date. Once Jennifer returns with Jack Devereaux and faces the horror, she'll fly into a rage and do some serious venting to her husband. On June 5, Days spoilers say Jack and Jennifer will make their way back to Salem. Of course, that'll be due to the news of John Black's demise and his upcoming funeral service. As luck would have it, June 5 is also when Kat and Chad will go on the date they've been planning. Considering the timing, it sounds like Jennifer and Jack are about to become date crashers. It's easy to imagine Jack and Jennifer stumbling upon a warm moment between Kat and Chad as they strengthen their connection. Days spoilers suggest Jennifer may see for herself just how close Chad has gotten to Kat and flip out about it. We're talking about the same woman who posed as Abigail DiMera and tried to make them all believe Abby was still alive. That's unforgivable as far as Jennifer's concerned, but Chad understands that Kat was stuck in a horrible situation. Duo fans will recall that Clyde Weston was forcing Kat to play along if she wanted to save her mother, so Chad's willing to cut her some slack. Jennifer, on the other hand, will remain livid with Kat, and she'll be just as angry with Chad for giving her a pass. Once Jennifer witnesses the growing bond between Chad and Kat, it'll really send her over the edge. Days spoilers say Jennifer will totally melt down and voice her complaints to Jack, who'll do his best to calm her in the aftermath. Is there a world where Jennifer could ever get past what Kat did? Time will tell, but Jennifer will definitely remain riled up with Abigail's former impersonator for now. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Jack and Jennifer's joint return will come with some drama, so stay tuned for updates on what's in store for these two. One family says goodbye on Days of Our Lives this week, as another says, welcome back. Get those tissues ready, because as this week's video preview reveals, there won't be a dry eye in the house by week's end. Last week, family came from far and wide to say farewell to John Black, including Carrie, Will, and Eric. Though they prayed for John to pull through, his wounds were too severe. This week, Marlena tells her beloved that if he needs to go, it's ok. Soon after, with tears in her eyes, Kayla begins spreading the word of John's passing. Meanwhile, Marlena sits with Eric and tells him there is never enough time when someone is your everything. Family comes together to mourn John, but even though they will all be there for Marlena, she sits alone in her bedroom and notes, "I really need to learn to do things on my own now." In an almost ironic counterbalance, thanks in large part to John's final act of heroism, the Brady family is experiencing a miracle. With Hope sitting at his bedside, Bo finally awakens. He's reunited with his family and says one thing hasn't changed: his love for Hope. Surrounded by loved ones, the family celebrates a moment they never thought possible. Read the Days of Our Lives spoilers to find out who else returns to Salem and what the citizens of Salem think of Stephani's manuscript. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for the week of June 2, 2025. Fans can expect Jennifer Devereaux to blow up. Carrie Brady comforts Marlena Evans. Plus, Stephani Johnson's manuscript gets passed around. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Toward the end of the week, expect Jennifer and Jack Devereaux to come back to Salem. The very next day, Chad DiMera and Kat Green go out on a date. Then, in Friday's episode, expect Jennifer to completely blow up over Kat dating Chad. While people in Salem have gotten to know the real Kat and understand she's regretful, Jack and Jennifer will still remember her sins. Over with Marlena, she will be devastated over losing John Black. As Marlena's loved ones rally around her, she will get some special comfort from Carrie. Meanwhile, Holly Jonas ends up consoling Tate Black rather than Sophia Choi. Elsewhere, Hope Brady, Sean Brady, and Shira Brady Weston celebrate a miracle with Bo Brady. Over with Paul Narita, he really wanted his father to pull through for the wedding. After John's death, Paul and Andrew Donovan decide to continue with their wedding plans. They likely reasoned that John would want them to get married, and that might be the best way to honor him. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Stephani's manuscript will get passed around. Stephani has been going back and forth on the book idea. However, Stephani was really private about her manuscript and was even embarrassed that Alex Kyriakis read it. As the manuscript gets passed around, how will Stephani react? Fans will also see Kristen DiMera confide in Brady Black. Belle Black withdraws from E.J. DiMera. Kate Roberts Brady begs Philip Kyriakis to wake up. Plus, Tate, Sophia, and Amy Choi tour the hospital. As Sophia's delivery date gets closer, she will need Tate's support more than ever. Plus, will Melinda Trask be able to find an adoptive family for Sophia and Tate's baby? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of June 2, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. Days of Our Lives spoilers are in for the week of June 2, 2025. Fans can expect Jennifer Devereaux and Jack Devereaux to return. Selah mourns John Black. Meanwhile, Stephani Johnson's manuscript bounces around. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. In Thursday's episode, fans will see the return of Jennifer and Jack. As more people return as John faces his last days, Jennifer will explode over an unrelated situation. When Jennifer learns that Chad DiMera is dating Kat Green, she blows up. There won't be much that Jennifer can do about Kat. However, Jennifer's verbal attacks won't make Kat feel any better about her past. Over with John, he will fade away and go into the great beyond. Marlena Evans will be heartbroken and devastated. Marlena will get comforted by Carrie Brady, Belle Black, Paul Narita, Will Horton, and others. Meanwhile, Tate Black gets consoled by Holly Jonas. Tate will also have to spend the week touring a hospital with Sophia Choi and Amy Choi. Elsewhere, Hope Brady celebrates Beau Brady's miracle with Sean Brady and Sarah Brady Weston. Paul wanted John at his wedding. With John's death, Paul and Andrew Donovan decide to marry anyway. The couple likely feels that John would have wanted them to tie the knot, and this might be the best way for them to honor the hero. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Stephani's manuscript bounces around. Stephani knows that Alex Kyriakis was impressed by it. Alex suggested Titan publish it, but Stephani had conflicting feelings about that. As the manuscript gets passed around, Stephani might not like the attention it gives her. Fans will also see Kristen DiMera open up to Brady Black. Belle Black distances herself from E.J. DiMera. Kate Roberts Brady urges Philip Kyriakis to recover. Will Philip wake up, and what will he say about the attack? Is it possible that Xander Cook Kyriakis might not be completely guilty? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of June 2, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on Peacock to find out what happens next. After watching their scenes on May 21, we couldn't pick one Days of Our Lives Performer of the Month for May, so we chose two. Please congratulate Lindsay Godfrey and Paul Telfer for their winning and heartbreaking performances as Xander confronted Sarah about lying to him about Philip's forged letter. Sarah frustratingly kept Philip's forgery crime from Xander for months, and then, once her husband finally found out, he still had no idea that Sarah was in on the secret. However, it was clear that once he pieced that particular part of the puzzle together, there would be fireworks, and Days fans weren't disappointed. While Godfrey and Telfer always deliver, on May 21, they transcended with their confrontation scenes. The scenes were so intense and mesmerizing that we wish the entire hour had been devoted to the crumbling of the Xander/Sarah marriage. What was heartbreaking was that Xander always saved his anger and the more volatile parts of his personality for other people. But in this episode, Sarah got the full force of Xander 1.0. The sarcasm, the vitriol, everything. She couldn't even believe what she was hearing. and as a result, she expressed validation for what she did. She stated how she knew what she did was wrong, but she did it for the right reasons. History backed her up, and she listed his recent past. 1. Going after Brady with a baseball bat. 2. Plotting to murder him. And 3. Pointing a gun at Philip's head and pulling the trigger. And, of course, it all culminated with Xander beating Philip to a pulp after his actions threatened the hospital deal. But that didn't matter to Xander. He didn't quite fess up to the beatdown. But he clearly wasn't remorseful about Philip fighting for his life. Godfrey and Telfer gave us Emmy-worthy scenes as Xander and Sarah's marriage devolved and their bond disintegrated before our very eyes. That's why they are both Soap Hub's performers of the month for May. Those May 21 scenes were painful, emotional, heartbreaking, and beyond sad. Xander and Sarah are a great couple who continually have to battle Xander's demons and troubled past. Sarah sees the light in him, but sometimes his darkness comes out to play and overshadows that light. In addition, Godfrey was heartbreaking as Sarah broke down in the wake of such a devastating conversation. Even exhibiting such coldness and vile behavior, Telfer had us feeling sorry for Xander. That may have had something to do with how difficult it was to see Xander say goodbye to Victoria, the only person in the world he can count on now that his relationship with his wife is in shambles. One Salem loss will be another Salem gain this week on Days of Our Lives. Here are 3 major moments to watch out for this week. After a long, hard fight, on Tuesday, Salem will grieve the loss of another legend, Drake Hoggeston's John Black. So many loved ones have returned home in the wake of John's battle. Will, Carrie, Eric, Paul, and Andrew. Brady and Belle will mourn the death of their dad, but the person most affected will be Marlena, who is stuck by her husband's side through it all. Midweek, amidst the bittersweet news about both John and Beau, Jack and Jennifer will come home to Salem. The couple hasn't been back since last Thanksgiving when Salem said goodbye to Doug, and now they'll return to comfort another grieving widow. The two will also most likely reunite with JJ, who's been on the rocks with Gaby, and catch up with Chad, whose friendship with Kat is one Jennifer will never accept. Not having his dad there on his wedding day wasn't something Paul ever imagined, but now it's the heartbreaking reality as he and Andrew decide to go through with their Salem wedding. The decision will be made midweek and may just be the perfect pick-me-up for the grieving Salemites. With Will back in Salem, Johnny has turned to his big brother during his recent identity crisis on Days of Our Lives. And if he's truly the one who shot EJ, here's why Will is the perfect person for him to confide in. Ever since the night EJ was shot and left for dead, Johnny has been the #1 suspect to viewers. Not only was he enraged at his father and admitted to wishing he was dead, but it was later revealed that he stole Roman's gun and pointed it straight at his father that night. EJ remembers seeing Johnny hold him at gunpoint and has been determined to keep his son safe despite assuming he was his assailant. Johnny has been denying shooting his father to anyone who asks, despite dodging Roman's questioning tone when he mentioned his gun being taken. If he truly did shoot his father as revenge for raping his mother, he'll need to confide in someone eventually, and if anyone will understand what he did, it's Will. Back in 2007, after Lucas found out what EJ did to Sami, he ended their marriage, devastating a young Will. Sami decided to quickly marry EJ, but their wedding didn't go to plan when EJ wound up shot. Lucas took the fall for the shooting, but later, it was revealed that Will shot EJ as payback for ruining his parents' marriage. Not only has Will been on the opposite end of a trigger toward EJ, but ironically, that shooting also happened due to what EJ did to Sami coming to light. If Johnny admits to his brother that he was the one who shot his father, it may prompt Will to reveal to him that he once did the same thing. While one family mourns a devastating loss, another celebrates a miraculous return, according to the Days of Our Lives spoilers preview. Viewers will want to make sure to have plenty of tissues on hand, because tears are bound to flow as the two stories unfold. Some of extreme sadness and some of immense joy. Here's your day's video preview for the week of June 2 to 6, 2025. It's the end of the line for Salem superhero John Black, and Marlena braces herself for the inevitable. "If you need to go, it's okay," she softly whispers to her husband as she climbs into bed with John and nestles up beside him. News of John's death begins to spread around Salem. Kayla arrives at the pub to share the information with Roman. "John, he died last night," she tells her brother. Back at the penthouse, Marlena receives plenty of love and support from her children. Alone with Eric, she announces, "There's never enough time, is there, when someone is your everything." A sobbing Belle arrives and runs into Marlena's arms. "Mom," she sobs. As Marlena embraces her daughter, Brady looks on with tears in his eyes. Ultimately, Marlena gathers her strength and prepares to do what she has to do, move on. "I really need to learn to do things on my own," she proclaims to her family. Later, she sits alone in the bedroom she shared with her beloved husband for decades and cries. Meanwhile, Beau's family sits by his bedside praying for a miracle, and they finally get one. He opens his eyes and awakens from his coma. Hope is overwhelmed with tears of joy. Afterwards, Beau reunites with his children. He shares warm embraces with Sean and Sierra. Despite his years away from his family, Beau feels as close to them as ever, especially his beloved Fancy Face. "The one thing that hasn't changed is my love for you," he declares to Hope. Later, while bonding with Hope, Sean, and Sierra, Beau takes in the special moment. "We're so lucky to have this amazing family," he says. Speaking of family, Sierra has a couple of new members to introduce to her father. After all, she's now the mother of two. Tops on the list is her father's namesake. "Hi, Grandpa," says the tyke as he approaches Beau. It's a picture-perfect moment for the Brady family, who are finally all back together again. The world of daytime knows how to bring the drama, and June 2 to 6 is no exception. From huge reveals to shocking secrets, the soaps are where it's at when it comes to chaos. Check out what we're looking forward to seeing the most this week. Drama is coming Anita's way as she faces the ghosts of her past, thanks to Sharon. Sharon is bringing up the sins of the past and throwing them in Anita's face. Teasers show Sharon as a very bitter Betty, and she's not going to let her old friend rest easy either. Will talking about these twisted tales put a damper on their reunion? Oh, you bet. Don't be surprised if things go off the rails once this is all brought to light. Also coming up, we'll see Naomi and Haley in a life-changing situation. Oh, that doesn't sound very good now, does it? These ladies have already faced their fair share of chaos, and it looks like that's not going to slow down anytime soon. Just wait until you see what's coming their way. Luna is back on her baddie game, and she's going straight after Steffi. She's sure if she gets her stepmommy's dearest out of the way, she'll finally get back into her dad's good graces. Is she going to apologize? No. Will she try to make amends? Absolutely not. Will she grab a weapon and become a monster? Absolutely. Don't think Luna's dangerous ways aren't lost on her grandmother. Sheila is concerned about the girl who should be her evil little protege. Thankfully, instead of channeling her inner she-devil, she's turning to Poppy for help. They have to stop Luna before she does something everyone will regret. Get to a store and buy a case of tissues because you're going to need boxes upon boxes this week. In the coming episodes, the people of Salem, as well as all of us, say goodbye to John Black. His loss hits the whole community hard, especially for his children and his loving wife. Poor Marlena is about to lose the love of her life, and this time, there will be no second chance. This will change the canvas forever. As John takes his final breath, a miracle happens in another room. Beau is surrounded by the people who love him most, and they'll soon have a reason to celebrate. Does this mean he's finally coming around? Having Beau back won't fix everything, but at least it will clear some of the dark clouds that are plaguing Salem right now. Jason's is in the hot seat, at least when it comes to Carly. She's putting him on blast during a shocking and heated confrontation that could leave their friendship hanging by a thread. They've stood by each other's side through thick and thin for years upon years. Now, all that could go down the drain if this little tiff goes way too far. Meanwhile, Michael and Willow hit the courtroom over their divorce. A week ago, Willow was sure this was all a slam dunk for her, but that was when she thought Michael was still incapacitated and not coming back. Well, sweetie, he's here now, and he's going to fight for his children and do whatever it takes to cut as many ties with his ex as he can.